I'm here with Robin, Andrea, and Miriam. Today we will be discussing the importance of early child development and how to support a child during their early years of living. The first 5 years of a child's life is fundamental for lifelong learning, cognitive development, physical growth, language, and so forth. Making sure you have the right environment and a child having rich social interactions with adults and peers really does help set the foundation, like I said, for overall well being and overall learning. Robin?
Yeah, with the research has shown and through my personal experiences, it's really important for overall learning to have a hands-on approach because it's personal to the experience of the child. Um, and social interactions, like with um, Vygotsky says, is important because it helps with the social skills of a child, and that's why it's important. It's the most fundamental time for things like learning languages.
Yeah, I agree with you. Creating experiences while learning really helps enforce what they're learning in their brain. And like you said, learning is the most fundamental time for kids to learn languages. Um, well, ages 1 through 5 is when they really develop their motor and cognitive skills, which is probably why that is so. So um, I feel like having more of a hands-on like experience while learning is really important to kids.
I agree. The first years, couple years of your life is like when you're learning your abilities and your motor skills and communication skills. It's a important time to really focus on that instead of making it feel like pressurized in school and stuff. The more hands-on is better. Me personally, that's my better way of learning. In my trade, we do hands-on training and working, so it's more sticks to your brain more. Me personally.
Mm, yeah. Mm, yeah, I feel like kids have proven to learn a lot better with playing and exploring rather than just like being handed a workbook and telling them to like put the numbers like associate like numbers and letters together. And I also feel like it makes them excited to learn, and I feel like if you actually like what you're doing, you're more likely to like succeed easier, and like it's easier for you to learn in a way, and you're more eager to like try harder and like not give up when you start struggling.
I
Mm,
feel like you're mentioning a lot about self esteem, and that really does contribute to like a person's overall efforts in trying new things and trying to like succeed in their mind of what succeeding is. Like
mm,
for example, I learned like through like my child development classes, encouraging children. There's a difference between encouragement and praising, you
mm,
know, and when you encourage a child, it makes a child want to try harder, even if they fail. Like, for instance, if a child is climbing up the structure and like they fall off, you'd be like, oh, you know, I saw that, you know, you slipped and you fell off, you know, maybe if we try this, you know, it will help you keep your balance. That way the child then takes like, oh, okay, like
mm,
I failed, you know, but next time there's a way for me to succeed. So
mm,
giving a child always how to succeed versus either a praise or what they did negatively won't benefit them as much as, like I said, encouraging them and giving them ways that they can be successful all ties into a person's and a child's self-esteem. And then that statistics have shown that a child that has a positive self-esteem succeeds more in academically, overall
mm,
health and mental health, just overall life in general. They're not as negative. Even when they fail, they're not going to take things as hard. They're more willing to try things that they might have certain doubts about. So yeah, encouraging and instilling positive self-esteem in a child at a young age is very, very important for like their overall learning and well-being.
mm. Yeah, I think it's very important to make sure a kid knows that failing is normal, because if you don't, they'll feel like, especially in like a system where you're taught one way, if you're all taught under the same thing, and you're like, you feel like you're the only one who's like struggling or like who's failing, you get discouraged and it might cause you to give up. So I think that's very important. And like you said, it's very important to be encouraging to a kid. The CDC talks about like examples of how you could be encouraging to your kids, just like when they're kids and they're like playing with like building blocks, for example, like building a bridge. If you're their mother, you could be like, or parent, you could just say, like, why are you building that bridge? Like, that's a nice bridge that you have there. Just asking them questions to get them like talking and like hear their thought process, and like just support their creativity in a way.
Yeah, I like what you said about the supporting their creativity. It made me think about when I do art time with my children. I mention what they see. I don't ever tell them like, oh, your artwork looks beautiful, or I like this, I like that. I will always tell them, I see you work so hard on it. I see you've been being so persistent. I see you added this color, that color. Oh, where do you want your name at? I always try and be like, oh, where do you want me to hang it up, in the classroom? Just so they know that like I appreciate what they're doing and what they're giving to the community. And that really does foster a child into wanting to do more and feeling appreciative and having that security that, oh, okay, I am enough and what I'm doing is valid and valued on top of that.
We need more teachers like you. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I had a teacher like that in kindergarten. That was the most time I had a teacher who made me feel important and like everything was okay. Now, after kindergarten, let's go to first grade, and it's like, what happened to all the pretty colors? What happened to the numbers? What happened to the shapes? Why is it so serious now? Why do we have... What's going on? Like, what happened in that time? Like, something, snack time. Now it's just all structure. You got to do this. There's this test. You got to do this by this time. They need to make it fun again.
Yeah.
And have teachers who actually really care. Because if that's the feeling. I had another teacher in 5th grade who made that she cared. And I was like the best I could in class. Like, now it's like, okay.
Yeah, I feel like when you feel that you're heard, it makes you more eager to like try harder, even if you're like struggling and stuff. Just feeling heard and like appreciated just really makes it feel like almost like one-on-one learning. It makes it feel like it's just you and the teacher rather than it's the teacher and the rest of the class.
Yeah, I feel like that leads into our next topic, creative curriculum. Creative curriculum focuses on 4 components, which is your language, your physical, your social, and your cognitive development. Piaget, a theorist, he said that children learn through play and hands-on experiences. So children having creative curriculum, it's the teacher's role to observe the child, what they're interested in, how you can support where they're at right now, and how you can help them elevate into higher developmentally. So I feel like creative curriculum is a really good, valuable tool in assessing a child and catering to the child's individual needs. And that also like leads into like children having social interactions at a young age also helps them with like their emotional regulation, their self-control, their empathy, things like that really does like come out more in creative curriculum because it's designated to support children in those type of environments and aspects.
Yeah. I definitely feel like it plays a big role in like the social aspect, because like, I don't know, like creative curriculum, when you're like, for example, like 2 kids could like get into an argument over like some toy or something. The teachers most of the time are taught to like handle things by like asking them like, what's the issue? Like, why are you angry? like addressing their emotions rather than saying like, no, you can't do this without like much of an explanation. I feel like creative curriculum helps them address like their individual emotions, like how they're feeling, and finding the best solution for both of them.
Yeah, individual care. What I was going to say earlier, and I actually forgot, was that um, during creative curriculum in child care centers, parallel play is more so common for children that are about like 3 and under, meaning they seek individual care. Like, for instance, I'm a primary teacher, so I have 4 children that when things happen, they look for me. So I build that intimate, close care for them, and so it helps them learn essentially. And when they have a close bond with somebody that they can turn to, that they know that my environment secure, a person, if something happens, I can go to them. It helps them be more relaxed and be who they are, and it helps them explore better and play better and essentially like learn better.
I wish they would have that for all grades.
Right, yeah.
Like, seriously,
Right.
like when I was in certain age, I didn't know I had an IEP until I was like maybe middle schoolish, and I used to act out because I didn't understand, or there was too many, students in the classroom, and they can't get to all the students. We're like 40 kids in one classroom, and it's one teacher. They should have more teachers like
Right.
you in there to assist with the learning, and maybe we'll see a bigger number in graduates, because a lot of kids don't know how to ask for help or to go about that way of that they need a little more. Show me
Yeah.
what to do.
Support.
Show
Yeah.
me what to do, because I don't know how to ask for it. Some kids don't. It goes back to this communication skills. Like, teach them at a young age. And I don't know what school district you guys were brought in, but in Vallejo, it was a lot of kids in one class, and they just kept pushing us every grade. They just keep making you go to the next grade, regardless if you knew anything or not. They just called No Child Left Behind, and it was a big mistake to do that, because there's the next grade, you don't know what you're into, you don't know what you're learning, because you're so far behind, but he's still past you.
Yeah.
But I wish we had some, like, they should do that in the schools and have more teachers like you to assist at all different ages and grades.
Yeah, because what you just said was a domino effect of a child not getting the proper support from a young age. Because like we all already said, the first 5 years is the most fundamental for a child's learning and like overall well-being. So if they're already not really getting that support, and even if they were getting that support, out of nowhere the support stops, and then that's when a child can either stay where they're at or start getting left behind.
Yeah.
Yeah, the most support I ever got in middle school was counseling, but even with counseling, they don't treat you like somebody who's learning and developing a growth mindset. They're treating you as something rigid and pieces of paper. And I also had a plan to accommodate for my needs, but I found out that you're kind of like casted out in a learning environment in middle school when even with that in your system.
Yeah, I feel like that leads into like the creative curriculum versus the school district, curriculum, because those having creative curriculum versus school district curriculum really does have a different outcome for each student. Like you just said, the only support that you really got was through counseling, and also through getting taken out of your environment into a classroom that was not your classroom. And I don't really see support in that. I was one of those kids that like you get taken out the classrooms for tests and stuff like that, and I didn't get any support with the tests. I didn't get any knowledge with the tests. Like, I didn't walk away knowing anything aside from I wasn't smart enough to sit in with the other kids in the other classroom. So it's just kind of like, and I always kind of felt dumbed down. Like, I didn't even know if I was going to make it to college because I didn't really have a lot of teachers that supported me. Right. And then the teachers that were supportive were supporting the children that it was obvious that they were smart. You call on them and they have the right answer. And it's very hard to be in a system like that for like your whole childhood.
Yeah.
Like,
I agree. I was in that category. Like, if I had cause I have ADD, I'm autistic, and there's times when it's too much going on. I need help, but instead of doing that, they send me out, and then I'm in a room by myself. But what is this?
Yeah.
What is this? Like, figure this out now. I'm like, okay, but I need help. There's only one teacher. It was in 11th grade at Vallejo High School. Mr. Dominguez, my Spanish teacher, he helped me, like walked me through everything, like didn't just like, okay, go over there
Right.
and I'll get to, he step by step helped me understand it, different ways of understanding it. And even it was like physical, he wrote it out, visual, he wrote it out where I could see it and understand it a certain way. It might take me 1 or 2 or 3, 4 or 5 times, but I got it after the certain way he taught me. And I felt like, okay, he actually cared.
Yeah.
You really don't get that a lot. Like, they need to really, maybe they should change the way teaching is to back to how it was, like, when they actually cared. They didn't just get a paycheck and go home. They cared about the students.
Yeah. And I feel like college is really like a harsh version of the school district just because of how many people are in one class. And it's just one professor, and the professor most of the times really do not care for talking to each individual student and making sure that each student gets it. They'll probably tell them, oh, look at the notes or look at what's posted. It's as their way of helping them, but most of the time students in college, I feel like it would be a much higher like graduation rate if the professors were like more open to helping students one-on-one rather than just teaching the whole class and whoever gets it and whoever doesn't.
Yeah. I would honestly say though, college really did add a lot to like my development as a person. I really don't see me being the person I am today like without college, and I mean like just without like the classes I've taken, just all my classes. Even in English, I wrote an essay and I was like, well damn, I didn't know any of this. Like hold on, like even in sign language, I was like, I didn't even know there was Black sign language. Like you develop so much appreciation and so much love for other like other learning and other topics that you and I not even thought of if you didn't go to college. And like even in my dance appreciation class, I now have actual appreciation for dance. It's just like you really genuinely like learn these things that you wouldn't have learned in school district learning. So it's like, although I feel like college, professor wise, sometimes they could have like their stigmas of not being as helpful, I feel like college really does add a lot of value to like a person's education and like who they are overall. And like even what you can take away, like the books I read in child development, the books I read in English, like just in general, that stuff really has stuck with me.
It sticks with
you.
you.
Yeah, it really does stick with you. Like I really have learned way more in the 2 years of community college and the whole district of like 12 years I was in there. So it's like I really do appreciate this opening. I just kind of wish it was like a little bit more supportive for kids like me that sometimes need a lot of extra support, and they need walkthroughs, and they need this, they need that. They can't just be left alone and like, oh, figure it out. I do wish there was more support for that, but like I said, I feel like college adds a lot of value to who you are as a person.
The only thing I probably wish college had is when I first started, they do canvas at me. I'm like, what's a canvas?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, painting, yes. I'm thinking, okay, wait, canvas? Oh, it's not painting? Okay, what is it? Oh, you log in there and, okay, everything's digital now. I'm thinking we're going to get, I'm a hands-on.
Right, yeah.
I like seeing stuff physically. Not saying I'm old, but computer stuff is new. Like maybe they should teach us when you first come into college what a canvas and how to do all the work online. Because it's not just me. I know there's people older than me coming into college. They don't know a thing about a canvas.
Yeah.
Or how to access their online books. We're used to old school books. We're used to writing it down on a piece of paper and all that. But you get the hang of it after a while if you ask enough questions. And all my professors actually helped me.
So maybe like orientations, like more orientations at the beginning of each semester, because a lot of kids, they join in like fall or spring or summer. Like it's very sporadic. It's not annually. So maybe like that per semester. And then also,
maybe not, you're right on orientation, but not a virtual orientation.
Right, yeah, an in-person orientation. Yeah, absolutely.
Like, explain it to me. This is what we're doing, because
Walk through.
Walk through like old school. I know
Yeah.
COVID changed everything, a lot of ways of teaching and everything, but we're kind of past that now, right? Let's get back to old school teaching. Let's kind of put the technology away because we got a lot of tablet kids. No offense, any tablet kids, but yeah, let's get back to books.
No, when you said tablet kids, that literally reminded me of like I'll see videos and they talk about how children should not like look at tablets before the age of 2,
No.
and it actually contributes to like their ADHD and like their attention span getting shorter and like all types of things. So I'm curious to see what the next generation looks like full of tablet kids, because my generation had tablets and it wasn't even as bad as this, and we are all over the place. So I just cannot imagine.
I'm a 90s baby. We made mud pies. We got physical, made mud pies, got dirty. We went outside, and I think that's what it needs to go back to that. Because a lot of parents, even teachers, you give them a computer, a tablet to learn. That's all their brain is thinking about. I need technology. No, you don't. Get a book. Sound the words out. The computer's sounding it out for you. AI's doing everything.
Yeah.
It's not cool. It's kind of scary.
Yeah, there's something called nature versus nurture in like early child development, and it's basically like where like you support the child through natural learning, through natural materials. Like I've even like done this multiple times, and I've seen a difference. I created a mud pie for my children, and I seen a difference like letting them have like actual hands-on materials versus like fake materials, if that makes sense.
Yes.
So I see the value in supporting children at a young age in appropriate environments.
Yes.
I think a lot of times where like the mess up be is that the environments are not like intentionally planned, and so the children lose sight of like the hands-on experience, even like nature, like I was just saying, like the nature experiences, and they're more so pulled to tablets or iPads or this or that. Even like it goes back as simple as using your voice to sing versus using an iPad to sing. Like a child and a young infant clings on more to the voice of a human versus a tablet. So I would think it's really better to kind of near away from the technology, because it teaches natural humans to rely on something that we're not naturally supposed to rely on.
Right. Right, I agree. I'd rather play a piano than a piano on a tablet.
Yeah.
Like, make it fun again. Let's make learning for kids fun again. Hands-on, more
And intentionally.
more, caring. Because instead of like making it go, okay, you have to do this. See if they need help with certain levels of things. Because I know I did. I know a lot of kids do. They are kind of, what do I do without the tablet? I'm not going to lie. Half of these kids have a Chromebook for school. Why?
It really goes over how technology and something that's man-made doesn't really tie into any of the different kind of intellectual styles. And I find that interesting because me, myself, being a visual learner, I always thought that technology might have stuck to me because they're visuals. But the more that I see, like what you're talking about with the attention span, it just took more away from my ability to persist in learning. So I agree.
Yeah, my nephew, we had him for over a weekend, and he's a tablet kid. I love you, Tommy, but he's like zoned in. I'm like, Tommy, and he's like zoned in. He doesn't hear me. I'm having a football. I said, it's time to put the tablet away. You're not coherent. What are you doing? I'm playing with Roblox, making mud pies. So why don't you go make real mud pies? What? So you can do that. Go outside and make mud pies, get dirty. That's what we do. Put the tablet down. It's time. Let's go do some real fun things. Like, it's like, get so zombified on it. It's ridiculous. It's like parents should really limit that, because I feel like it affects their learning.
Yeah, when you said the parents, it just made me think like, well, damn, like they're either doing the best they can by giving the tablet, or they're doing what they can't do. Like they can't entertain, they don't know how to teach, they don't know how to support their child because they were not either supported, or they just naturally just don't know. So I think that's really where the like the harm comes in at, because a parent 9 times out of 10 really does not know the like the negative effects that they're having on the child. Like you'll even see more challenging behaviors because in their attention span is short, and that they want the tablet. They don't want to do this, they don't want to do that, they want the tablet.
Yeah.
So then you'll see all these challenging behaviors, and then they kind of lose sight on actual valuable real life experiences that will support their learning and their development and their overall well-being. They're losing that by giving it to a tablet.
Or they're taking the easy way out because,
Right.
no offense, there's some parents
Absolutely.
who are lazy.
Yeah.
Take time for your child. Put your device down and interact
Yeah.
and teach them something. It's not just the teacher's job. We have to do it at home.
I feel like then that ties into like community, because you know, you're saying that like, oh, parents are lazy, and sometimes they are really just, a lot of times they generally are just lazy, but at the same time the laziness ties back to them not having the support, or them just not knowing, or to be honest, maybe they didn't even want a kid and they just didn't want to get rid of it. Like, to be honest. So it's just like, and that happens a lot. Like, I know I have a lot of cousins that they just keep on getting pregnant. They have all these young children, and some of them are autistic, and they have no developmental growth because the parents aren't taking in the time to put that effort into them. They're just going to keep on having children. And I don't really think parents understand the like the harm that they're doing to not only themselves but the community, the family, because you know, when you have a child, it's not just your child. This is now a part of a community.
Yes, takes a village.
Yeah, exactly.
It takes a
Yeah,
village.
so I think it's really important. I think maybe if they will give more education about child development and early child development at a young age, maybe high school, maybe middle school, instead of waiting until maybe if you go to college, or maybe if you take a child development class, because a lot of people are walking around and their parents, they don't know not one fact about child development.
They do sex ed, they might as well do child development.
Exactly. So
like, this is the outcome. This is what happens with what if you don't protect yourself. You're going to have a child and it's going to be developing. It's now your responsibility, not just the teachers when you drop them off at school, to teach them. Like, me personally, I'm grateful for my grandmother. I had the situation with my mother growing up, and my grandmother was a big part in my life. I didn't speak till I was 6. I know it's crazy. I didn't speak till I was 6. She used to physically move my mouth to make me speak and sound out words. And one day it's all memorized. It's your visual and physical. Like, my name's Andrea, and every day she worked with me. And one day I just started slowly speaking. This is before tablets where you can point and say what you want. No, make them talk. You have to, because it really changes. Like, you wouldn't think I didn't talk to them when I was 6. Like, I was a mute. Everyone thought I was mute. I could hear and understand everything you're saying. I didn't know how to get the words out.
I think that can be something that parents struggle with, is the repetition part. With a lot of times they see a challenging behavior, or they see pushback, or they see something that might not, be as easygoing as the other option, and they're just kind of like, well, damn, like, I'm gonna just give up and I'm gonna just give in. Or I'm gonna just try the easier option. So I think repetition and intentionally, having a game plan for your child, and if you don't have a game plan, getting the resources for the game plan. But like I said, I also think the problem comes in is even when you do want to help your child, sometimes the resources aren't there.
Right.
Like, sometimes you try all you can, and then, they don't diagnose a child right, or they're saying your child's fine, just give it years, or they're giving help, but you're not seeing any growth. So, it's very difficult. So I think more resources. Yeah, more support, more getting the knowledge out about child development, because I think a lot of people look at children as they're just objects, versus they're actually sponges, and they're soaking up information.
Everything.
Yeah, and like we've already said multiple times, it's the foundation for their overall life learning and their overall well-being. It's not just for the moment.
Yeah.
So
I think it really shows problems with like the organizations that already exist in the government, like Planned Parenthood. They probably don't know that much about how important it is to tell them that the best way to understand your child is to get more invested in the real world aspects of it. Like, you can't just keep them occupied they have to be interactive with their environment so they
Yeah.
learn how to live in it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever hear about the first 5? It's like a little thing they used to give at like the county buildings the first 5 years. It was always like books, certain things with letters, pictures and words for like younger, like newborn babies and that. They should, I don't see it no more, but they should bring that back. It really
Yeah.
helped a lot of people. I know a lot of my nieces and nephews had that little, it was like a little monthly thing you get for free. Help parents learn what to do, because some, like we were talking about, they don't know what to do. We don't come with manuals, parents don't.
Right.
We're all learning still, but it helped them. This is what you should, tummy time or flashcards or certain little objects to play with, sensory things. Like, it's pretty cool. They should bring that back.
Yeah, because even though children learn the most during their first 5 years, there still are certain stages during those first 5 years. So I think, like what you just said, offering those type of resources for those certain stages during those years will really support, and beyond those years.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Most definitely beyond the years. So, yes.
Yeah, I feel like your experiences as a kid really helps define who you become as a person. And I feel like it's really underestimated because even babies, like, parents just think, like, oh yeah, they don't know anything, they just cry, this and that. Like, I feel like that's, like, the most vital time to, like, develop their experiences and make sure that they're actively learning about stuff. Because, like, even, like how you condition your child, like if they do something and you reward them by like, or you like punish them by giving them something like a punishment or like taking away something, you like, it's very important to like have like a form of conditioning so that like when they grow, that like sticks with them. Like if they do something bad, you take something away, or if they do something good, you reward them by giving them something.
Yeah, having intentional boundaries for a child is very important.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, positive reinforcement and negative reinforcement is very important to like reinforce how you want your kid to like deal with issues or like go about like things in the real world.
Because you don't want to go out there in the real world and not prepared for
Yeah, and I feel like like most people, like, you know, their kids have like been in a store like crying for something or like acting out basically, and I feel like it's really important to not brush that off, and I feel like it's important to like reinforce what behavior you want to see as they grow up. Like you can't just brush that off and be like, oh, he's a kid, like he doesn't know any better. If you keep saying that, he's just gonna keep taking that on with him all his years and thinking that, oh yeah, if I do this, I can get what I want, or just acting out is the way to get what they want, basically.
Yeah, I know a couple grown men who do that still, and it's like, who taught you that?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, power struggle starts at a young age. I think what really like hurts and turns a child and a parent into a power struggle is not having consistent boundaries, not having intentional boundaries, and not giving options. You know, many times a parent will be like, no, you're not going to do this, and then that's that. Like, it's no other option. It's no this, it's no that. You know, it's no, I don't know, if a child is running inside their room or something, you're like, oh, you know, we're not gonna run inside our room. We can go outside and run, you know, but we can't run inside our room. You know, enforcing the boundaries, but also giving options so the child doesn't feel helpless. Because when the child feels helpless and the child feels like they don't have any power, then you're gonna see pushbacks. You're gonna see more children screaming in the store. You're gonna see more children in classrooms acting out, and you're gonna see children looking like they're acting a fool, but all reality, they just don't know how to regulate themselves. They're not understanding why they're acting out like this, and it's because they're not having structured boundaries, intentional boundaries, and options. Because like I said, when a child feels hopeless, a child feels powerless, you're going to see pushback, and you're going to see challenging behaviors. because what else are they supposed to do?
Yeah,
So-
and I feel like if it continues for a long time, it can cause the child to build a resentment towards their parents, because from my experience, I live in like a strict African household, and like whenever you're told no, that's that and that's it. There's no like negotiation. There's nothing like it's an authoritarian like parenting style basically, and I feel like over the years, I personally didn't know it, but I looked into it because I found that like whenever my parents would like talk to me, even if they're not like saying anything wrong to me, I'll just instantly get irritated. Or like whenever my sister tries to talk to me, I'll just instantly get irritated. And even I didn't know why, but I found out that like that can be caused because of like built up resentment over the years that's never been like addressed. It's always just been no, and that's that. Like it's always just me compromising my wants for them
To meet their needs.
yeah, to meet what they want me to do.
Yeah, I completely understand that. My mom and my dad have two different parenting styles, and my dad wasn't really in my life when I was younger. He came around more so when I was 12, and by that time, I'm already used to my mom's parenting style, where she let me, get what I needed out. We had back and forth conversations. She apologized when she was wrong. It was more of a team versus, a parent and a child. And then here comes my dad. I don't even have a strong enough bond with him, and he's trying to enforce all these rules that honestly don't even make sense. Like, for instance, he's waking me up at 8 o'clock just because he says I don't need to sleep in, and it's a Saturday. Like, it's just things like that. Like, just trying to have the power because they're the parent. And, that, like you just said, and I didn't even realize until you just said that. Like, that's why I be having an attitude. My dad be speaking to me, and he can say anything. He tells me hi, and I don't want to speak back to him. And that's why, because for 7 years straight, it's resentment. Like,
Right.
you try to boss me around, and you try and use the power that you have the power over me, and that really did like hinder our bond. And that's crazy that you're saying that, and I'm like processing that, like, yeah, that's why I'm like, leave me alone, that's why.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
and I feel like parents apologizing to their kids is like a really important thing.
Yeah.
Because kids are always like meant to like taught to be the one to say sorry and all this, but like if you're being taught to say sorry, but your parents won't ever say sorry to you once, even though like they said like, oh, like you can tell that they're wrong, and like sometimes they'll even say like, even if I'm wrong, like I'm your parent, like it just doesn't. It just makes you feel less than and like not important and not like. It just makes you feel like your parents really don't care about you as a person.
Yeah.
They just want you to meet their goals and that's it.
Yeah, well, I feel like with the parents mixed in with the teachers, we got to do something, y'all.
Right.
Like,
We gotta do something.
we gotta do
make
something.
We gotta get it together. because
Yeah.
Our future children, our future in general, relies on our parenting, our teaching.
Yeah.
If we want change in this world, we gotta be the change,
Yeah.
starting with us. Like, seriously, because
Absolutely.
we got a whole lot of tablet kids going on. Like,
Yeah.
these younger ones, these younger ones, a whole bunch of watching the tablet, listening to the tablet. The tablet's teaching them things. I don't know if you guys heard about it. It was one of the cartoons on the tablet like 2 years ago, telling kids to hurt themselves type stuff, like do bad things, because
Yeah, I've heard of
tablet's
that.
telling you on this YouTube show. Ridiculous. So we got to be careful what we let our kids watch and take in, because they're learning stuff from the internet,
Yeah.
YouTube, and we should be the ones teaching them, not YouTube.
Yeah.
Just like
We
for
should
real.
keep human interactions
Human.
and leave
Yeah.
the technology
Yeah.
over there.
Yeah, that reminds me, I used to take care of my niece from like when she was an infant to when she was like 3. And I remember having YouTube on the screen, and it was playing Cocomelon, and it's just like background sounds while I'm playing with her. And I randomly see an ad of like this psychedelic trip. And then I see a lot of consistencies on how they market children's entertainment on platforms like YouTube. And it seems like it's on purpose to deteriorate the mental state of
Yes.
a child.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of newer cartoons. They're made to like not stimulate children. They're made to like for the children to constantly want more, and then it's like in the end hurting their attention span, which your attention span is like damn near everything for like your learning and like just overall you going through life. So yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, thinking about it, Caillou was never a good show neither. I'm saying no, mommy.
Yeah.
I don't want to. Like,
Yeah.
and then the kids copy what they see.
Yeah.
They're a sponge, like we're
Modeling.
talking about.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
I feel like when they're like attached to like technology and like their iPads, they build like a bond with that, and it
Security.
really, yeah, it like deteriorates like their social like aspect. Like they don't know how to like talk to people. They don't know like social cues or like stuff like that. It's important that they're like talking to people and like having experiences outside of just being on their tablet all the time.
Yeah, even before they even go to school, take them to like a playground, or because you don't want to just take them from their tablet and throw them into school, and they don't know how to interact with anyone now.
Yeah.
Now they're being singled out, or just antisocial,
Or looked at.
or thinking something's terribly wrong with them when it's something that could be prevented. We could have took a child to the park to interact with other kids before school, like even before, just take them outside to interact with other people, so they
Yeah.
know how to interact with others when they go to school and see these familiar faces all day long. So they know how to interact with people and problem solving. All that starts at a young age. Like we said, the tablet's not going to teach them that. Take them outside. Like, man, I really hope not the internet, tablets get like pushed back or something. Like something comes along and we have to lay the rules down, put the tablet down, and what's called screen and time. Maybe on the weekends. Maybe not even that. Take them outside. Big difference in this world.
Yes, well, after discussing our creative curriculum, how to support a child during early development, as well as our school district curriculum, that concludes our podcast. My name is Divine. I'm here with Robin, Andrea, and Miriam. Thank you.